wanting to explode with the left. Oh, and that right, but Davis took off some of the steam of the...
They start talking, that's when y'all get dumb. I'ma be his...
Can't do shit. Wait,
for real. I better be quiet.
I don't give a y'all was quiet. Y'all was loud.
They got hood over there. Like, twist it up. I don't give a about none of that.
Do whatever y'all want. My mother, he can't stop nothing over here.
None of that.
Not at all.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna f him up.
You know, that Tank is older. He had the lessons, getting his lessons of what he got to do.
Gervonta Davis has responded forcefully to his trainer Calvin Ford after a heated exchange between them during the controversial fight against Rematch on March 1st, 2025 at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. The fight, which saw Davis defend his WBA lightweight title, ended in a majority draw, but not without a lot of controversy.
But still, Roach leading with that, and he took a knee. He took a knee!
The most debated moment came in the 9th round when Davis unexpectedly took a knee after a light jab from Roach grazed his face. According to the unified rules of boxing, any fighter who takes a knee should be counted, and it could be ruled as a knockdown. However, referee Steve Willis stopped the count and allowed the fight to continue, which raised questions about the fairness of the decision and the final scorecards. Davis later explained that the reason for his knee was that grease from his freshly done hair had gotten into his eyes, affecting his vision. However, this explanation was met with boos from the crowd and heavy criticism from boxing experts. The situation not only changed the course of the fight, but also created drama behind the scenes. A leaked audio clip revealed an intense argument between Davis and Ford after the fight. In the recording, Davis can be heard firing back at Ford with the firm words, "I don't need you." This moment stood out to fans, signaling a possible crack in the long-standing relationship between Davis and his trainer.
Roach leading with that, and he took a knee. He took a knee! Roach eating some
Davis. That looks like a submission. You hear me? Let me get this.
Check this out.
Let me get it. Hold on.
No, you guys calm down. Listen to me.
Hey, come on now.
Tank don't Coach Cal.
Talk about the chin.
When Tank was walking up, it looked like Coach Cal was about to give him that hug like you always do, and Tank just brushed him off like out of here. Whoop, excuse me. Out of here.
The argument that was recorded revealed a lot of tension. Sources suggest that it took place after the controversial decision in the fight, with emotions running high. While the exact words spoken are still up for debate, it's clear that Davis's
leading with the left. Right hook. So good.
First was more than just a quick remark. It was a declaration of independence and frustration. The audio shows that Davis, known for his fiery style in the ring, was just as intense when it came to matters of trust and team dynamic. This incident has sparked conversations among boxing fans about whether Davis's confident, sometimes brash attitude might be hiding deeper issues within his camp.
All the people that say I be spreading false narratives and I don't know what I'm talking about, Tank, don't with Coach Calvin. You can see it. Look, check this.
You guys calm down. Listen to me.
And then, look, Tank lost it. He totally lost it.
For years, Calvin Ford has been a key figure in Gervonta Davis's boxing journey. Often compared to some of the most iconic trainer-fighter pairs, Ford's guidance was closely tied to Davis's early success, and his presence was always a steadying force for the fighter. However, leading up to Davis's fight with Roach Jr., something changed. Ford wasn't by Davis's side during parts of the bout. Instead, Barry Hunter and other team members stepped in. Ford later explained his absence in a post-fight interview, clarifying that it wasn't due to a permanent rift, but rather a strategic decision. He said that stepping back gave him the chance to see things from a different perspective, allowing both him and Davis to reset. Ford emphasized that the training structure and their bond hadn't changed, despite his temporary step back. However, the situation raised questions, especially after a heated argument was leaked. Some are wondering if this shift in the corner hints at deeper issues between the fighter and his mentor. Many analysts believe the argument reflects the intense pressures of elite boxing. Davis's sharp "I don't need you" comment could be seen as a
final 60 seconds as we are in the 6th round. Let's see.
Sign that he wants more independence in the ring, a desire to follow his own path without being bound by traditional trainer-fighter dynamics. On the other hand, it could be a sign of unresolved tension that, if ignored, might affect the relationship that has helped Davis achieve greatness.
Now it seems like Coach Cal on point, so you're not paying Tank no mind. And Tank go over here, he go to this and watch this shit that he do. He gonna lift his jacket up and like, our conversation is a secret. I don't want him to hear it. Type shit. Like, yo, what's up with Coach Cal and Tank? They really don't each other? Like, what? And he brush him off again. Like, don't touch me type. Like, you see that?
The aftermath of the fight between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. has left fans and experts wondering what's next for the champion. The controversial majority draw is still being debated within the boxing world, and with potential regulatory reviews ahead, things are looking complicated. Adding to the drama, there's growing tension between Davis and his trainer, which could affect his future preparations. If the WBA orders a rematch with Roach, Davis may have to deal with these internal issues before getting back in the ring. A rocky relationship with his trainer can hurt his fight strategy, conditioning, and overall performance. Risks that could have big consequences, especially with title defenses and potential future bouts against top-level opponents. This situation also adds to the ongoing narrative of boxing's chaotic reputation, where split-second decisions, technical errors, and backstage drama often combine
At each other, let's see if the punches start being thrown, and yes, they do.
To create a whirlwind of controversy. Fans are increasingly focused on both Davis's actions in the ring and his behavior outside of it. Some are questioning whether one controversial moment and a defiant response could be a turning point in his career. For Davis, whose record has remained spotless until now, this episode is a mixed blessing. On one hand, it shows his fighting spirit and refusal to be controlled. On the other hand, it exposes weaknesses that other fighters might try to take advantage of. The boxing world is closely watching to see if this internal struggle is just a temporary setback or if it signals deeper issues that could affect the future of one of the sport's brightest stars. Davis is certainly facing a rough patch after his fight with Lamont Roach Jr. shook up his world. Roach Jr. came into the ring as a massive underdog with almost no expectation of victory. Most people thought Davis would easily overpower him, like a sprinter beating a tortoise.
Only landing him by 3 thus far. Oh, goodness.
But in an unexpected turn of events, Roach Jr., the WBA super featherweight champion, showed he was just as skilled, strong, and resilient as Davis. Instead of a clear Davis win, the fight ended in a majority draw. However, the real talking point wasn't that Davis lost his perfect record. It was the bizarre moment in the 9th round when Davis suddenly dropped to one knee and rushed to his corner to have his face wiped. It was later revealed that grease from his hair had gotten into his eyes, impairing his vision. What really angered fans, though, was the fact that referee Steve Willis allowed this to happen without consequence. Even though the referee had started a 10 count, Davis was not penalized, leaving many questioning the officiating of the bout.
Good right hand from Mont, uppercut. Good combination, Mont. Oh, good left from Tank. Right hand from Monty. Oh, Tank took a knee. He got knocked down. That's a knockdown. Tank is trying to bail himself out. That's a knockdown. That's a knockdown! How are you going to do that and run and get a towel? Who gave Davis that right? This is a highway robbery, dog. Good combination, Lamont. Oh, shit. They swinging on each other. Good body shot, Lamont. Lamont is rocking with it. This is Tarver Roy 1. What's going to happen is they're going to give the fight to Tank, and then the second fight, Lamont going to say any excuses tonight, Tank. And then he will not Tank out. I've seen it. Lamont won, bro. He won 7-5 with a knockdown. This guy did the unthinkable, and I hope they don't rob him. Scorecards. They said majority draw. They cheated Roach. Roach got robbed, and everybody knows it. Rematch right away. They robbed.
All eyes are on the controversial decision from the recent fight, and now the New York State Athletic Commission, NYSAC, has launched an investigation into what happened. They've cited a technical issue that prevented them from reviewing the incident in real time. Lamont Roach Jr. has officially petitioned to have the results overturned and to be recognized as the rightful winner. As the world waits for the NYSAC's final ruling, Devin Haney sat down with the ring to share his thoughts on the fight and the disputed no-knockdown call. Given Haney's relationship with both Davis and Roach, it was no surprise that his opinion would spark some interest. Haney, who has known Roach Jr. since they were kids and competed together in amateur fights, was impressed by Roach's performance. "I thought it was a good fight overall," Haney said. "I always knew Lamont wasn't coming to lay down." Haney, who had high expectations for Roach, was surprised.
Oh, good. Solid shot there, Davis. Oh, there's a right hook to the...
Surprised by how well he did. He came there to fight, and he did a lot better than I thought he would. When it came to who won the fight, Haney was clear. "I thought Roach won the fight personally." Then there's the no knockdown ruling. Haney expressed his disbelief, saying, "No knockdown? That was unheard of. That's the first time I've ever seen that with my own 2 eyes." The rivalry between Haney and Davis has created a buzz, with fans eagerly awaiting a showdown between the two. However, despite all the hype, that match has yet to take place. Meanwhile, the dramatic events at Barclays Center last weekend have sparked comparisons to past boxing moments, with many analysts and fans recalling similar incidents where a self-inflicted slip led to a knockdown call. One of those moments was in a past fight involving Floyd Mayweather, where he experienced the first knockdown of his career in a brutal battle against a relentless Salvadoran-American fighter. Mayweather suffered intense pain after landing a sharp left hook, causing his arm to drop toward the canvas. While Hernandez hadn't knocked him down, the referee ruled it a knockdown and administered a standing 8 count, which shifted the momentum of the fight. Boxing rules state that a knockdown occurs if any part of a fighter's body aside from their feet touches the ground. In response to this, the WBA defended referee Steve Willis, stating that his decision was reasonable since he believed Davis hadn't been struck by a punch before going down, and thus no knockdown should be recorded. Fans and analysts are now waiting for the NYSAC to make a final decision. As for Lamont Roach Jr., he remains optimistic. There's a real possibility that Davis's record could shift from 30-0 to 31 if history is made, but it may not happen in the ring. It could happen in a boardroom. Boxing trainer Andre Rosier also weighed in on the situation. Speaking to YSN Sports Media, Rosier said he had to rewatch the fight and believes that Davis wasn't fully focused for this match. Tank wasn't focused for this one, not one bit, Rosier said. He added that Lamont did everything he needed to do to be a serious...
Davis just got backed up with a counter right from Roach.
...serious threat in the fight, and that the controversial knee just added to the drama. He did everything he had to do to be a live dog, which he was, Rosier explained. He also had a message for Davis, saying, "Stop worrying about the outside world. Focus on boxing. And that's the only way he's going to get right." Despite keeping his undefeated record intact, the controversy surrounding the Roach Jr. fight has left a stain on Davis's career for many fans. Meanwhile, former IBF, WBC, and WBO lightweight champion George Kambosos Jr., who's no stranger to setbacks, didn't waste any time offering his thoughts. "Ouch! There goes the perfect record," Kambosos tweeted after the Davis-Roach fight. "That was a knockdown that ultimately made the difference," he added. "The dwarf had to go at me from my losses to Haney and Loma. Time to look at yourself, wanky tanky. Great work, Roach. Respect, tanky. The jig is up." But Kambosos wasn't done yet. When pressed
Straight left.
for his thoughts on the heated matchup, he admitted he had misjudged Roach Jr. and made sure to give him the respect he deserved. As for the knee incident, Kambosos confidently declared, "That was a knockdown. You can't just in the middle of the fight decide to take a knee. It's not fair." With the NYSAC still investigating, Kambosos feels that the commission is unlikely to overturn the decision. "I think there's too much power behind the scenes," he said, adding to the ongoing debate. In the meantime, Shakur Stevenson's trainer has stepped forward with a revealing story that could change the way fans look at Davis. Coach Ree, speaking to YSN Sports Media, shared an anecdote about Davis from a decade ago that could shed new light on his performance. "I was surprised, but then it took me back to maybe 10 years ago when Tevin Farmer and Gervonta Davis were going at it," Coach Ree recalled. He explained that Farmer had once told him, "Gervonta Davis doesn't like to get hit. He doesn't like fighting back. If you let him be Gervonta, he'll do his thing. But if you put a little pressure
What's the speed of that counter shot? If it's like a shovel uppercut coming back from Tank
on him, it messes up his game plan." Coach Ree believes that Roach's ability to take Davis's punches and fight back threw off Davis's game plan. Maybe Lamont had a little better game plan, I don't know, but he was that tough. Did Lamont Roach Jr. derail Davis's strategy, or was it just part of the game? Either way, both fighters seem eager for a rematch, and the public is waiting to see if the NYSAC's investigation changes the outcome. Meanwhile, the WBA has issued a statement defending the referee's call. Initially, the WBA had stood by referee Steve Willis's decision, stating that his judgment was reasonable. However, after some complications, they later retracted their statement. The fight, which ended in a majority draw, ensured Davis kept his WBA lightweight title. The WBA's original statement argued that the referee ruled in real time that Davis hadn't been struck by a punch before going down, and therefore no knockdown should be recorded. Fans will now have to wait to see how the NYSACs respond.
Just this scenario, what happens when no one leaves the desk?
What was going through your mind when you heard the decision?
Nobody like a draw, you know, from a guy that get knockouts and things like that, but it's cool. I feel like if we fight again, I could do more, and I should have did more. I was lost in I lost track in the rounds. That's why we need what is it called? Yeah, man. I didn't know what round it was. Facts.
Tank, Eric Blum from DailyMail.com. First off, your coach just said, can you confirm, did you get your hair done 2 days before the fight?
Yeah.
Hank Davis's hairstylist has fired back, strongly defending her work and rejecting any claims that her styling was to blame for his issues in the ring. She dismissed those accusations, calling them a baseless excuse aimed at her. At the same time, the criticism surrounding Davis continues to grow, and boxing trainer Kevin Cunningham has stepped in to defend Davis's power. People are sitting on platforms questioning whether Gervonta Davis's power is real, Cunningham wrote on X. Last time I checked, a 93% knockout ratio is real power. Cunningham is emphasizing that Davis boasts the highest knockout rate in boxing at an impressive 93%. However, Davis also tends to throw fewer punches per round than almost any other fighter. This imbalance isn't an issue against weaker opponents, but against a technically skilled fighter like Lamont Roach. Power alone may not be enough. When a fan raised this point, Cunningham responded, saying, "We all know a fighter needs more than power to beat talented opponents." Meanwhile, Roach's attorney has taken things a step further to ensure that Roach gets justice. Lamont Roach Jr. has formally petitioned the New York State Athletic Commission NYSAC to overturn his majority draw against Gervonta Davis and recognize him as the rightful winner. In a letter to the NYSAC, Roach's attorney Greg Smith argued that Davis should have been disqualified or at least credited with a knockdown during the controversial 9th round. While Davis had his reasons for taking a knee, Roach's side believes that Davis essentially withdrew from the fight and unfairly benefited from assistance in his corner. On top of that, the NYSAC has admitted to a technical issue that prevented a proper video review of the fight, which could have confirmed whether a knockdown actually occurred. Despite all this, both Davis and Roach are eager for a possible rematch and seem to be ready for the next chapter in their rivalry.
I ran water over it today, but I must ain't do it enough.
Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring? And was it to get the towel out, to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on? And
I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning, and like you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee than But I didn't really know that you can get disqualified for all that, or when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell? But I don't know. It's cool.
Do you want that rematch next? And if so, how likely it is that we're to see that fight happen again this year?
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we could get it before. Nah, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next, but it's not gonna be next.
What is?
You might see it in a minute. You definitely might see it in a minute.
Gervonta Davis has built quite a reputation in the boxing world, and not just for his impressive skill. As the top-ranked lightweight, he's not only a fan favorite, but also a global sensation, recognized for his incredible talent. What really sets Davis apart is his devastating power. He has an almost uncanny ability to break down his opponents, and he once again showed that this past weekend at Brooklyn's Barclays Center. Many thought his raw power would be the key to victory against Lamont Roach. Despite taking a relentless beating with a barrage of lefts and rights, Roach refused to back down. He pushed forward with unwavering determination, standing toe-to-toe with Davis for the full 12 rounds of the fight.
Obviously, this fight can turn at any point. You do wonder if do you want to land?
Roach made history by becoming only the third fighter to last the distance with Davis. Although he didn't secure the win, Roach had some strong thoughts about Davis's power. While the reigning WBA super featherweight champion acknowledged Davis's punch is powerful, he wasn't impressed enough to call it extraordinary. Roach said, "He's got decent power for sure." Davis may have walked away from the fight with a draw, marking the first time his flawless record has been blemished. However, Roach is far from satisfied with the result. He wanted a clear victory, and now he's asking for an immediate rematch. But Davis has made it clear that he's moving on to other challenges. Roach, however, believes their paths will cross again in the future, and he has no doubt that Davis will keep winning his upcoming bouts. Although Roach was able to handle Davis's punches without being rattled, he isn't underestimating Davis's power. He admitted, "I see why he knocks people out. I can see why." However, things have taken an unexpected turn for Gervonta Davis. Rumors of a possible lawsuit are now overshadowing his fight with Lamont Roach Jr. After a somewhat underwhelming performance, Davis didn't manage to stop Roach, who lasted all 12 rounds and walked away with a majority draw, a result that many believe unfairly robbed Roach of a victory. Roach has even taken the matter to the New York State Athletic Commission, NYSAC, appealing for the decision to be overturned in his favor. The final verdict is still unclear. As Davis waits to hear the outcome of this appeal, ES News reporter Ali Spock stirred up some online discussion by pointing out that fighters have sometimes resorted to legal action after
movement and footwork. And Tank's getting a lot of sneaky shots to the body this round.
after a fight. He tweeted, "I'm not personally a fan of fighters lawyering up. It's a slippery slope. Take care of business in the ring." Block also referenced a notable example of a fighter turning to legal action when Devin Haney filed a lawsuit against Ryan Garcia after their April 2024 bout. Haney argued that Garcia's system had traces of a banned substance, leading to a 1-year suspension for Garcia. Despite this, Haney is now willing to drop the lawsuit on one condition: Garcia must agree to a rematch, which is expected to happen later this year. Lamont Roach Jr. didn't waste any time responding to Spock's tweet, believing it was directed at him. After being controversially denied a knockdown and a win, Roach fired back, saying, "I did take care of business in the ring. You're about to make me get this biased. I know he's your people. Leave it be. I ain't suing nobody. I'm getting the clear knockdown situated that they robbed me of. Get it right." While the boxing world continues to wait for a final decision from the NYSAC, an unexpected player has entered the conversation: Murray's Pomade, a popular hair product brand. The company has now publicly called on Davis to ditch his current slick hair products and try their pomade, which they claim would prevent the slippery issues he faced during the fight. Murray's Pomade, celebrating its 100th anniversary, is thick and waxy, and the company claims it wouldn't have caused any hair troubles for Davis. A spokesperson for the brand even said, "He should have used our product and he wouldn't have had to worry about his hair." In the midst of all this drama, it seems Davis has found another way to earn money, whether he's fighting or not. While the world waits to see what will happen with the NYSAC's decision, Murray's Pomade has jumped in to offer a potential fix for Davis's hair situation, keeping him in the spotlight no matter what. That wraps up today's story. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss our upcoming content.